All right, let's see if we can continue and try to make some sense out of this stuff. All right, so I got them separated here. This is the stuff I did in the last video over here on the left. And this is the stuff I have yet to test from the third heat treat. Now this one here got mixed up with another heat treat. I found this a couple days ago and I stuck it in a bag, right? This is one of these. I just don't know which one it is, but it got heated to 440 and I think there was a big change. I did take some flakes off. The next heat treat is going to be up around 440 for this batch here. No matter what happens in this video, I'm going to do another heat treat, which will be the last one. It'll be a fourth heat treat, and we'll see. We shall see what happens. This one here, I'm pretty sure changed a lot. As far as glossiness goes and all that. Nappability, I mean, it doesn't feel too much like a heat treat because it's still kind of tough. But I don't think any of this stuff was this glossy. No. See that? And what about the other side? There's different consistencies here between the different colors. Yeah. So there's no change on this side. Use the original surface. This is a new or supposedly new heat treated surface, right? It's supposedly looks different, but nope, doesn't look any different. However, on this side of the flake, it is very different from the original surface to the new surface after heat treat at 440. So even in the same flake, there can be two completely different results. That's the takeaway from this one. Because I don't have any other information. I don't know what nodule this came off of, unfortunately. Okay. So I just wanted to chip this and see what happens. It still feels tough. It is easy to run flakes, relatively speaking, but it still feels kind of tough, even at 440. To feel heat treaty, quote unquote, to feel like a heat treat, it's gotten that really easy. You know, like something like high quality flint. This Knap's fairly easy, but not like high quality flint, not quite. Now some heat treats will become even better than high quality flints, just not this one. All right, so what we got? We're gonna do number 5. Let's find the raw number 5. The raw is in the red bags. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, flake's currently being heated. Okay. Let's see. This one, it's a kind of a weird stone. Let's see. It's got a crystal pocket in it too, so let's see. Let's move this out of the way so I don't fill up these boxes with little flakes. Yeah, that nap's okay. This is raw. Okay, so I'm napping on the raw one first. It is nappable. Yeah, it's not bad. But I knew that already. That's why I set it aside as the true Primo stuff from this batch anyway. There's better, you know, high quality raw for sure. This is not bad for raw, except for the weird inclusions and inconsistent areas. I mean, I've napped plenty of this kind of stuff, so nothing new to me as far as inconsistencies and weird terminations, step fractures where you least expect, and maybe even a snap in half. But this one seems alright. Not too bad. Come on. That's a tough spot. Yeah, right there. That lighter color is very tough. Yeah. Once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Yeah, I can run some fairly good flakes on it. It's going to need some damage control for sure. It's got some wonky areas. Yeah, okay, so that's not bad. Let's see what the heat treat looks like. And remember, you got to watch the previous episodes to, you know, to follow along properly. Oh yes, that's your homework assignment for those of you who are interested in that aspect. Yeah, this was kind of crumbly. That could be just this particular piece. Ooh, that napped easy. Yeah, that went straight across there easily. But it did get crumbly down in here. We'll see. I don't see much difference between the luster of the new thermally altered and the old original surface. Not too much difference. Karate Cortex. A typical landscape stone karate cortex with incipient Hertzian cones and bulbs of percussion from nature. Yeah, I didn't do those. Nobody did them. Nature pounds up against the surface while it's tumbling. These are river gravels, probably. Or whatever. I'm not a geologist, so I just know if they nap or don't. If they nap, they nap. If they don't, they don't. I don't even need to know what they're called. I have no need to know what these are called at all. As far as a type of chert, nope. I don't care anymore. Why? It never helped me to nap to know what kind of chert it was. Knowing what kind it is or the name of it never helped me at all in my napping. Not in looking for stone, not in finding stone. No. Usually if I find stone, it's just by luck. And it might look like something I've been told what it is. But just because it looks like it doesn't mean it is it. And just because it is it doesn't mean it's going to nap exactly like the last piece. This is napping easier. Yes, it is. If I just stop and pay attention. Yeah. Yeah, it's napping easier, but it's not that glossy. Should I put it back in to the heat treat? I should. Why? Because I need to put at least one of these back in. Well, I am going to put one of these from yesterday's video back in for sure, I think. Yeah. And then the other one was already good enough. You know, 2 batches in here. One was, yeah, I need to put it back in. The other one was good enough. No sense in putting it back in. This one, there's really no sense in putting this back in, but I've got to put some more than just one. Yeah, maybe this will be really glossy and very slick. Easy to pressure flake. Once it's up, heated up to a higher temperature, might turn into some slick material. Oh yes. Yeah, this is easier to nap than the raw one. Not surprisingly, but the raw is not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not glossy. It has a little bit of resistance to it. Yeah. But not much resistance. I'm still hitting the cooked one. Still kind of hard. I'm still kind of hitting it hard, but I can already feel it getting nice and thin. This one, on the other hand, I'm kind of worried about being able to damage control it and get it thin. But I got room because I'm going to make them the same size, just so it'd be a fair comparison. It's got to be the same size because I use the weight of the workpiece against itself when I'm striking with indirect percussion. Yep. I don't hold it really firmly. It's not my hand resisting the impact. It's the weight of mostly the weight of the workpiece itself. So the size of it matters when comparing how easy it is to nap. They've got to be the same size for me to make an accurate comparison. See, I'm hardly holding it at all. It's just the weight of the workpiece resisting the strike, because a strike is really fast. Yeah. Some of you new guys might not understand the physics behind that. But if you can imagine a sandbag hanging there, a full sandbag, normal size, and you get a broomstick, right? And you hit the sandbag like a piñata, right? As an example, with the broomstick. Now, what happens if you push or slow hit the sandbag? It moves, and the stick doesn't break. The stick doesn't break, the sandbag moves. Same with this. If you're hitting slow, this is going to move, and you're not going to break your percussor. You're not going to really smash a lot of surfaces on this. It's going to be slow, you know. It's not going to be as slow as hitting the sandbag, but I think you get the idea. You know, it's slow, so both things are going to be moving. The broomstick and then the sandbag. Now, if you hit the sandbag extremely fast with the broomstick, what happens? Sandbag barely moves and the broomstick breaks. Same with this. The workpiece barely moves, but the flake and the surface breaks. With the sandbag, you're using the weight of the sandbag against itself, and it makes it a good anvil for breaking the broomstick on it. But you got to swing fast. That gives you an idea what's going on with indirect percussion. You're swinging very fast, and you're getting a break without much movement of the workpiece. You're getting it to break without much movement of the workpiece. You can feel a slight shock sometimes, but if you're doing it correctly, you're not going to feel much of a shock. So you don't need to hold on to the workpiece really, really hard. If you've been napping all this time with indirect percussion and holding the workpiece really, really hard and feeling a big jolt every time, you're not hitting fast enough or hard enough. It's like trying to break a broomstick on a sandbag. Yeah. Doesn't work if you go slow. The faster the better, actually. Within reason. Sometimes you can hit too fast and there's too much force. But that's kind of rare with indirect percussion. It takes a lot of force to be excessive. Usually you want a lot of force no matter what. Usually. Not always. Because Obsidian doesn't like it. As an example, Obsidian will make you hit it hard, but it doesn't really like it, so you're going to get into trouble a lot with Obsidian and indirect percussion in that respect, with the hitting it hard thing. But you still need to hit it hard sometimes, as you've seen in my videos. Okay. Anyway, this is getting thin, and I don't see much of a difference, or I don't feel much of a difference, other than I'm feeling like I can thin this one down faster than I'm thinning this one down. But it's not much of a difference. See, that hit right there, that should have taken a flake off. On this one, on the heat treated one, it probably would have. I'm adjusting to this on the fly. Also, the raw is a little bit more difficult to damage control it because we get crushing and step fractures a lot. Because it is a little bit tougher to nap. The edges need to be prepared better in many cases. Better than you think they need to be prepared. You know, you'll hit it, you go, dang, it crushed, and I gotta go back and abrade it even more. Not so much with the heat treat. Usually just the normal abrasion will work. You don't have to really lean into it and abrade a whole lot. Although sometimes you do. But yeah, you don't need to abrade a whole lot in most cases. There's always exceptions to every thing I'm telling you. That's why I say in most cases. Because you could be napping this stuff and you're going, mine will not nap like yours every time. It does not do it. So there may be exceptions. There's always exceptions, actually. Yeah, the heat treat, this is the heat treat. It works a little bit better. And it's not just psychological. I can tell that it's a little bit easier. Yeah, because this one, I don't get the same travel. I've got to prepare the edges a lot stronger with this raw one. I can't take the travel of the flakes for granted. It feels like it's going to travel, but then it doesn't. Although it's not a bad material. Let's try to get these the same size. Excuse me while I trim it a little bit to get the same size. Does it make that much of a difference at this scale? These things are less than 3 inches long. Yeah, it makes just a slight big difference. A slight bit of difference, I think. I think it's perceptible. It is perceptible, the difference in how much force I need to use. Yeah, there is a perceptible difference. But not much. And it's, you know, it's to be expected that there's not much because the heat is below 400 degrees on this heat treat. It's 385, right? My brain won't let me remember exactly. 385. Yeah. I mean, I know it is, but just in case it goes, I don't know. Don't trust the memory. Never trust the memory. Yeah. I never trust my memory because it has let me down so many times I can't even tell you. Yeah. Yeah, it's more difficult. This tip on this one was the tip on this one is easier. Let's see. Come on. Supposed to be easier. There it goes. Come on. What's going on? There it goes. Yeah, it's similar, but it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit. It's challenging stone, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's not that bad. I've napped a lot worse. Oh yeah, which may not be fair to you guys because you may have not napped a whole lot worse than this, and you're saying to yourself, man, I don't know what is worse than this. I can't even imagine. Oh, there's stuff worse than this for sure. I'm not making good contact with the edge on this one. Nope. There it goes. There it goes. Dang, I guess I was just working with a very cratered tip or something. Oh, the tool. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Either I had lots of rock embedded in the tip of the flaker or something. Yeah, that made a big difference. Just skinning off the surface there. What about you on this side? Because the last one I did, it crushed on that side. This is the heat treat. Are you keeping track of which one's which? No? You lost track? You don't know which is which? Dang it. No, this is the raw, this is the heat. The heat is a little bit darker and a little bit glossier. Okay, so yeah. In case you lost track. Some of you go, no, I'll never forget a face. Yeah, the faces of the bifaces. Never forget a biface or a face. Right? Right. Some people think I talk stupid on these videos. Why are you talking that way? It's for my self-entertainment, okay? Yeah. That's it. Okay, so they're getting to be about the same. How sweet. It's sweet. I think it's sweet. I think the heat treat is sweet. Yep. I'm almost not wanting to put this back in. That's good enough. I can make a point out of it. A nice point. It's going to lose some width, but it needs to lose a little bit of width so I can get it to match up better. This one keeps getting shorter and shorter. I'm going to catch up with that one. Are they the same? Almost. Close enough. Let's try to get this nice and thin. All right. All right. And then we can do some pressure flaking on it once it gets to the sweat stage. Yeah, the sweat stage is when I go, I don't know if I can get it any thinner, but it's not thin enough for the video, because people will say, no, that's not thin, that's lame. I'm disappointed in you. Yeah. So I tried to get it thinner for the video. Thinner than it needs to be. Oops. I got my other preform over here. I can't be throwing stuff down on top of it. Alright, glove is getting in the way. Yeah, critical hits coming up. So, glove cannot be in the way. Even though I may embed a flake into my finger, I cannot have the glove in the way at this stage. Besides, it gives me a better feel, slightly better feel of what's going on. switch back and forth a lot. I'm gonna be switching back and forth a lot. Because I need to get a feel for it. What are the differences? Yeah. It doesn't grind down as easy on the raw, which is typical, and it's annoying. When it doesn't respond to the abrader very well, it gets annoying. Because I have to, you know, abrade it more. This kind of step fracture I didn't see much on here, on the heat treat one, which is it's good to not have those. See that step fracture right there? I didn't get that type on this. Yeah. See, I don't get this type of step fracture on this one. At least I don't think I did. I may be wrong. I don't seem to remember getting this type where the last bit doesn't come off. Yeah, it snaps. This one, the last bit comes off. Right? Except for that one right there. Little bit. Does it come off? Easy. Something came off. Let's see. This is the heat treat, remember. Keep track. Yeah, see? It terminates well on the heat treat. On the raw, you get, you know, little fingernails at the end. Which can be highly annoying. But were they on the real artifacts? Yes, yes, yes. Real artifacts had lots of little fingernail step fractures on them. Because they don't matter all that much, except for cosmetics. Well, it seems to be about the same. Yeah. I am getting a little bit more of the fingernail step fractures on the raw. I am hitting harder on the raw piece. I am abrading a little bit more aggressively on the raw piece. It's a lot. I'm holding it a lot more firm in my hand, so I can get down in there and really abrade it well. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, but as long as I make solid contact, everything's fine. Turn. Beautiful. Yeah, so if you get nice solid contact, it'll flake. And I didn't see a bad termination on that one. Yeah. I'm getting a little bitty, still getting lots of little bitty fingernails on those, but it's not bad at all as far as overall performance. I wouldn't give it a high grade or high quality raw rating. It's a medium quality raw rating. As far as this one goes, this one is a medium grade heat treat. Heat treat, to be a nice heat treat, it's a pretty high bar. Some heat treats are so nice it's unbelievable. So this is like a medium grade heat treat, because it's a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes it'll flake well on the edge, sometimes it won't. Yeah. It probably has to do with my abrading as well. Lots of abrading, it just doesn't take like a lot of elbow grease to abrade it. But I still gotta abrade it a lot. Yeah. Still a lot of abrading, but it's not as elbow greasy. Yeah. Don't need to put as much effort into the abrading as I do with the raw stuff. Yeah. Are we there yet? Almost to the pressure flaking stage. I'm hitting the sweat stage right now because at any moment I could mess it up and either snap it or install something I can't remove. Like a step fracture or overshot or a bite. Yeah. With heat treats, the risk of bite on the edge, a semicircular crack is very high. The risk is very high. Especially when you're trying to run a long flake. Right when you need it to not cause a ring crack or a bite, it will do it. Exactly when it's not supposed to. That's how it'll seem anyway. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it happens to me too. It seems like it'll do the ring crack or other mistakes exactly when it's not supposed to. It was doing fine earlier until you decided to go that one extra flake thinner. Yeah, just one more layers of flake thinner. One more layer of flaking will thin it down to my satisfaction. And then at that point, that's when it starts to go crazy. Yep. And it'll do exactly what it's not supposed to do. And then after several years of that, you'll learn to not bite off more than you can chew, and you'll avoid a lot of that. Don't be too ambitious. You won't know how much is too ambitious, unfortunately, until you break a lot. Yeah, you've got to break a lot of stuff. And be very sad many times before finally you make the breakthrough and go, hey, I can start making what I want to make now. Yeah. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. They're very similar, but I like the heat treat. I do like it. I do get these fingernail fractures, so it's very similar. I don't want to put this back in, but I think I'm going to. Let's try the pressure flaking. I'm getting tired, so I think I'm going to cut this video when I finish the pressure flaking. I got a lot more stuff to do, so I'll put some of this back in the heat treat. But for now, let's just do the pressure flaking. The raw one has a lighter color in it, so you can tell by that, in case you lost track. Now, if you lost track, that means there's not much difference, huh? Yeah, kind of, sort of. For those who want to see it side by side, I hope that this is a good enough demonstration. I didn't simplify it very much. I'm just going with the flow. I'm just winging it. I'm not trying to simplify it at all. You know what I mean? I could just do one comparison at a time and simplify it down to just one at a time and not nap too much and not talk too much and compare it that way. But I'd rather just go through all the motions, go through all the chaos, simplify it a little bit maybe. But you kind of need to see the whole process. Now the raw stuff here is not that difficult to nap. That was a mistake in the stone. I mean a defect in the stone. Stones don't make mistakes. It's just defects. This is another defect. Yeah. Always get these senior moments when I'm trying to put these back together. Yeah, there's an existing crack in the raw stone. Okay. Let's skip that part for now. Let's just do one edge. Simplify it down to sharpening one edge on this and then one edge on the other one. So like the other raw piece, it's not that hard to sharpen this. You know, the raw piece that I did yesterday, raw sharpens up pretty good. If it's a medium to high grade chert or flint to begin with. Poor grade cherts and flints are difficult to sharpen up. Okay? Because you can set the tool almost directly on the edge and pop off a flake. Yeah. Now on the heat treats, a lot of times, don't do that. I can snap the tip off if I drop it on that. A lot of times with the heat treats, you got to abrade the edge really, really well so it doesn't crush. And which edge did I do? Doesn't even matter. Anyway, let's see. Let's see if that did it for the abrading, or do I need more? That seems pretty good. No, it's a bit crushy, a little bit crushy. Hold on. I need to regularize it a little bit better and then regrind it and then redo this pressure pass. Yeah. But I got a feeling I'm encountering the same issue as always with all the heat treats for delicate stones. It's hard to get a good sharpening without abrading it very carefully. And very extensively. Okay. Why? Because the edge crushes so easily. And yeah, if I used a softer tool like copper or aluminum, it might work better. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna use the steel because it'll still give me a good comparison. I'll still know what the differences are. Now you on your end, you'll have to use what you normally use. Use copper or whatever you use to make the comparisons. Do your heat treats in the same way and, compare results from different heat treats. See which temperature you like better. Are you satisfied with the lower heat treat and the way the rock feels, or do you think it needs more? Once we get to the higher heat treat, you'll see. Yeah. I have issues going from the raw to the heat treat with the sharpening. I'm thinking that the edge is going to be cooperative when it isn't. It's easier to push off flakes, but it's more difficult to keep it from crushing. But I can push off flakes on the raw, on the heat treat much easier. It just isn't giving me the same thinness on the edge, because I do have to make sure the edge is strong enough to push the flakes off on the heat treat. But it's very similar. Now the raw always feels sharper and more grippy. I don't know how else to say it, but it grips my skin a lot better than this. This feels sharp, but it doesn't grip as intensely as this edge. The raw edge grips. Yeah. It's very similar, but the raw edge is more prickly or whatever. Okay. So yeah. You can see very similar results. All right. Which is to be expected because the heat treat's not that intense. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the video here. I've got a lot to do tonight. So I am going to reheat this. Well, I don't know. No, I'm not going to reheat this. I'm just going to leave it like this. Do not reheat. This is fine the way it is. I can make a nice point. All right. Make sure. I know. Just in case I forget which one was raw. I'm not going to, but never know. It could fall on my head in my sleep. Or I could dream about amnesia and then all of a sudden wake up with a case of amnesia. Hope not. How do you dream of amnesia? Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I know. Dreams don't make sense. You know that. Okay, so I'm going to where's my note? I lost my note from this one. I have to make a new note. Where'd it go? Maybe there was no note in here to begin with. That's not good. I thought I had notes with everything. Or they better not have gotten mixed up with the other one. Did I have two notes in here? No, these both go with this one. Where's my note? All right, let's write a new note. And hopefully there was nothing important on the old note. See what you made me do? You made me lose my note. Just because of the stinking video. I'll look back on the video and see if I made a fool out of myself. I might not have had a note in that one. All right. Make a new note so when I have success I can gloat. Yeah. All right. This one already tested against raw. Needs 1/2 to be heated again to 440 degrees plus. Yeah. Or more. 440 degrees Fahrenheit or more. Okay, so that's the note on this one. This is a number 5. I put that on there in case I lose the note so I know what stone it goes to. All right. This is already tested against raw. This one is heated. Heat treat 385 degrees. Yeah. Already tested against raw. Needs to be heated again. Okay, we got it. So half of it will be heated again. So we can put this in here. And this here. Do I have the numbers? See, if I don't have the numbers. Most of these are pretty different looking from each other. But just in case, this is number 5. Okay. And on this one here, the one I napped, I want to make sure I have a number 5 on it. I don't have the number 5, so we're going to put the number 5. Do not reheat. Okay, good. Okay. We're halfway through. All right. 1, 2, 3 batches. We got 3 batches. Yeah, we're halfway through. I think there's 6 batches or whatever. Something like that. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I've forgotten anything. No, we'll just keep going. I think I did the same, up to the same place in the napping on this stuff here on the left. Thin down, the preformed shape well established, and then one edge pressure flaked to compare the differences. These are all in the same boat. These are all the same. Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe we'll get through all of these in one video next time. I'll go faster. All right? Okay. That's it.